What is up, everybody? I am getting ready to head out for a work trip in Boston, Massachusetts tomorrow. It is Monday night as I'm recording this. I'm flying out on Tuesday morning. Gonna be interesting. There's a nor'easter that's supposed to hit Boston really bad, so we'll see if I make it. But I've given myself a day buffer. I am supposed to work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll be doing video and photography for a seafood company in 3 locations. 2 of them will be in Boston, 1 will be in Rhode Island. So 3 days to do it. I'm gonna show you what I'm bringing on this trip. What I've done is I've laid out everything technology-wise that I think I need on this table here. And then I do a lot of bike touring, and when I do that, I kind of lay out everything I want, and then I start to pack and see what's gonna fit and how it's gonna work. That's kind of the same thing I'm doing right here. I mean, there's obviously essentials I cannot leave without, but just how I'm gonna pack, where I'm gonna pack it, what I'm gonna do. Everyone knows what a pain flying is when there's not a storm approaching right now. Another side note, I am recording with the Canon EOS R8. I'm using 4K, 24 frames a second, and I have it on the enhanced stabilization. There's no optical stabilization, sensor stabilization on this lens, so it's all electronic. So I want to do a review of this camera, as I've mentioned before, but I haven't used this camera for any of its video features yet, so that's another test we're running here. I am using, it's at f2.8 on the 16mm lens, and then I have the ISO on auto ISO. Already when I look at the screen, I could tell just how it's white and bright in here. I do feel like it underexposes my face a little bit, but we'll see how that looks when we get on the computer. Anyways, let's go through what we have. So camera-wise, my R5 is what I'll be bringing. On there is the 24-105 f4. Not my favorite lens, it's an L lens. I don't feel like it deserves the L designation, but it's great for video. It's got stabilization in the lens, and when it's paired with the IBIS, it does really well, especially since Canon upgraded their algorithms so that you get less of those warpy corners at the wide end. I'm debating this right here. I have a 16-35 2.8, that's an EF, the adapter's on there to make it work with the RF. And I have a 35-1.4. I really love this 35-1.4 and the look it gives, especially if I have a chance to do stuff that I just want to do on my own time. But I'm not sure I'm going to bring them both. 2 reasons for that. One reason for not being sure about bringing it is I do want to leave a kit here in case something comes up and Dave needs to do a gig for me, and I feel like one of those 2 should stay. So, but then I'm also thinking this gig doesn't probably call for a 35-1.4, but it might need that 16mm super wide at some point. So anyways, other stuff that goes with the camera, and I'll let you guys know all this after I pack up here in a little bit, what I ended up choosing. Canon charger, 5 extra batteries. There's a battery in there. It seems like a lot of batteries, but between video and photography and all day, and then also some of these batteries are now getting a little long in the tooth. I've already retired some. They just don't quite have the power they used to. So flash, this I think what, the 580EX? No, this is not. This is a Luma Pro. They don't make these anymore, but simple manual flash. Mostly to trigger the other flashes, which I'll talk about in a minute. Extra batteries for the flash, there's batteries in there. This is the cage. Since I'm doing video, I'll rig it out with the handle and everything for more stable footage. This is a variable ND filter, you know, in case I have to do a shot where I'm passing in and out of stuff, I could adjust, you know, whatever. If you don't know how ND filters work, this is not gonna be a tutorial on that. Here's the Mavic Pro 2. So I'm supposed to do some drone footage. We'll see what happens with the storm and all that. Also, the one spot in Boston is right by the airport, so I know I won't be able to fly there. I didn't have time to get clearance for that. Extra battery, the controller. I have my studio monitor sitting out here, my Sony headphones. I'm thinking I probably won't end up bringing these, even though I would like to. I'm thinking I'll probably just end up bringing the regular wired iPhone headphones, whatever. Yeah, I don't have any wireless earbuds. I don't care about those. I don't want them. And now with wireless charging, I could still have my headphones plugged in while my phone's charging. This is my laptop. It is the M1 MacBook Pro Max, whatever. It's the fastest M1 you could get. I bought the 14-inch for portability, and I'm happy with that decision because when I use it here as my main computer, it's hooked up to 2 big monitors anyways. CF card reader. This is my working drive right now, my SSD. I'm bringing that in case I have to do any requests while I'm gone. Someone requests something I've been working on recently. whatever, I could get those files for people. This is a new drive I bought, T7 Samsung, also just one of the shock resistant ones. So this is what everything from this trip will go on. I feel like I'm gonna use a lot of data. I didn't show, I think I skipped over the Pocket Wizards. They said, I'll explain that in a second actually, hang on. And then a bunch of cords that go with Pocket Wizards. So wireless triggers for flashes. GoPro, of course, that'll be for personal stuff because I'll make videos for this channel while I'm gone and maybe my bike channel. Memory card, so this is full. I need to decide what I want in there. SDs there, CF Express Type Bs, CF Express, yeah, CF Express Type Bs, that's what the Canon R5 takes, one of each. So, but these, the Canon can max out its specs with that. Chargers for the iPhone and for the laptop. This is just sunglasses and stuff sitting around here. So what I think I'm gonna do is try and bring this bag as my personal item. It's pushing the limits of that, but no one's ever stopped me from anything. A lot of times I bring this backpack, which I really like, as my personal item, but I think I'm gonna try and go with this bag. I also, if I get the chance to walk around and do any personal stuff, ride my bike, I love this sling bag. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is fill that with clothes and stuff it into my bag that'll go in the overhead compartment, which is this tiny little piece of shit suitcase that I keep using here. I also really want my monopod on this trip, but I don't want to check a bag. So I think I'm gonna feign an injury and use it like a walking cane. So, and then throw it in the overhead. It's a risk. I do not want to end up losing this Manfrotto monopod, but I really want it for video. So I think I'm gonna take the gamble. We'll see. What I've done in the past, when I have flown, I've only flown for work for video work before. So what I've done is I've actually taken bags that I use for like scrim, so long, narrow bags, and I put my like stands that I need in there, and then I've just wrapped extra clothes all around them and checked them. But I don't think that's gonna work on this trip because those have been short trips where I didn't need a lot of clothes. Also, the other times I've flown for work, I didn't need all this equipment because they were like run and gun gigs. So I really can get away with just like, you know, my backpack and stuff like the cage was all I really needed. So I brought up the Pocket Wizards. So I had debated, I have stuff to fly with strobe lighting and all that. And this job is paying well enough that I could check lighting gear and pay the money for the flight. The whole thing is, I don't know if you guys have been to Boston or moved around major cities, it would be a real pain to have all that stuff with me and to have to try and navigate myself from the airport and stuff like that. It won't be that big of a deal once I'm actually working because I will be staying with friends and the one friend I'm working for will be driving me to the gig. So I don't have to worry about that, but it just still seems like a pain. So I actually rented $400 worth of lighting equipment out in Boston. They say the lighting equipment can be triggered by optically, so that was kind of what I was getting at with the flash. I don't think I'm gonna be using, you know, direct flash in any of the stuff. These will be big scenes, but when I'm setting up the lights, I wanna be able to use the flash. But I'm a little nervous, so I'm still bringing 2 Pocket Wizards just in case, and then not knowing exactly what the specs on them, I'm just bringing all the different cables for connections. That's the other thing, I don't know if I showed all the USB Type-C and wall plugs and stuff like that. I'm also thinking I will bring my Rode wireless mics. I'm not supposed to be doing audio while I'm out there, but I'm also, you know, if I end up having a lot of free time, I'm gonna wanna work on videos and do stuff like this, so I'm bringing them for me, basically. That's kind of the thing. So basically what's happening is big city photography and videography rates are so much more than what I can get around here that I'm actually eating the travel costs, the rental costs and all that stuff. I'm not billing it on top like you would if, you know, when I get hired to do freelance videography. I actually like put in a bid that is just competing with the local market, but it is still such a good amount of money that I can afford to fly, pick my seats, you know, and rent a bunch of equipment and still end up coming home, you know, making money. Obviously, I have the advantage of that. I don't have to pay for a lot of the transportation once I'm there, and I don't have to pay to stay, but I still, in this case, could have made money doing that. So just kind of an interesting thing. I am going to definitely make a video about this whole trip. You know, that's kind of a thing of the GoPro. It'll hopefully be the next video on this channel, depending on how my week goes. I get back a week from Monday and the videos for this channel come out on Wednesday, whatever. But I'm gonna try and get this packed up and then explain how it went, and then we'll wrap this whole little thing up. Quick note before I pack up there, I will not be able to get a fair judgment on this camera from that first long thing because I had the shutter speed set wrong. It was set at 1/125th of a second. It should have been at 1/50th to match. If you guys know 180 shutter rule, you know, basically you set the shutter at double the frame rate. I messed up, so I'll be interested to see what that looks like, if it looks super too clean and weird. But anyways, this is the right settings right now, so it'll at least give me something to compare it to. Anyways, on to the packing. So stuff in my camera bag, full of socks. We'll see if this works. So I think I got everything I need ready, and I think I'm pretty happy with the packing. I'll also do tomorrow, and let me know if you guys do this, I will completely overdress for the flight, so I have to pack less clothes. So I will be sweating like crazy in the airport, and on the plane I'll be stripping off layers as soon as I get on it. But, you know, that's another thing of flying that's annoying now. So yeah, in my clothes suitcase, my little carry-on here, I've got like the pocket wizards, I've got the cage. I didn't show these earlier. These are Model Infinity tools. I feel like they could come in handy for so many things. I actually wear a couple on my wrist. You can't see them right now. But I use them for a lot of bike stuff, but they work for camera stuff too, just a way to strap stuff together. So my drone is actually wrapped in here in some t-shirts. Extra batteries are wrapped in here. So yeah, other electronics and stuff that I don't want to carry over my shoulder. They're all stuffed into the clothing bag and then kind of padded in case I ended up having to check something or gate check something, which I hope I don't. So camera bag wise is my usual setup with camera in the middle, extra lens here, flash here. The only difference is I've thrown the iPhone and laptop charger on top of that. My 14-inch MacBook actually fits in here. The GoPro is in the side pocket. Extra batteries, ND filters, my hard drives, those will stay on me. But, you know, even more batteries and stuff are over here in this case. The thing I decided to leave is the 35-1.4. I feel like it makes more sense to have it here, which while I'm thinking about that, let's make sure I do have the other adapter on this lens. I do, and it's the dumb adapter without the control ring, which is the good thing to do because when I use the R8, which I'm holding right now, since it only has 2 dials, I like to have the EF to RF adapter with the control ring. There'll be more on that when I do the full review of the R8. That goes along with it well. And then I'm sure I'll make this a morning decision with the monopod, but I think I'm gonna do it. And the reason I have the wireless Go's sitting out still is because I'm recording with them right now. If you're thinking you're only bringing one camera, I am. It's a weird feeling, but I don't feel like my 5D4 is reliable enough anymore to haul with me. And like I said, I feel like it makes sense to leave the R8 with a lens set here in case something comes up that I need my partner Dave to do while I'm gone. So I think that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, maybe you have way better, maybe you're well-traveled being a photographer and doing professional level work. Let me know any tips or tricks or what you think I'm missing. Or if you've never traveled and there's something I didn't cover, ask me down below. That will do it though, I think. Just a simple little video of packing up for this trip, more regular content coming up. And I am going to miss the little guy here, my little alley cat Edmund. This is actually the 2-month anniversary of the day I took him in from the alley. And this is gonna be the first time I've been away from him for more than a night. And I think it's only been 1 or 2 nights I've been away from him this whole time. So I love this little guy. I'm gonna miss you, Edmund. And I will see the rest of you on the road. Thanks for watching as always. Peace.